Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Chief Booty Baker.
Gag me with a spoon.
Thank you for tuning in and checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and leave me a like. If you have been following the channel and have watched a few of the other videos where I talk about the anti-farming methods that I have come up with, here is that video. I've got a lot of ground to cover, so we'll just start by talking about Raid itself. Raid is advertised as a free-to-play game, but they're gonna throw these monetization ads at you all day long. Most of these games are the same. They're all pretty much typical. They're all pay to play. That's how these game companies make money. We all know that.
OMG.
And these ads are so enticing that it makes it look easier to pay to play. And don't buy these because you don't know what kind of rolls you're gonna get out of substats and all that, and the main stats here. So I wouldn't buy those. Another topic that's out there is replayability on these type of games. You get a lot of new players coming in, and if you can get past the ads and all that, and you actually enjoy playing the game, eventually the grind is, I believe, what's killing Raid. When I first started playing the game, of course, I started looking up tips and advice and beginner's guides on YouTube. The normal thing to do is to upgrade your champion to level 60, and then your second, third, and fourth champion up to level 60 to make a good team. And that method will work. This isn't a rant video. I'm not knocking on anybody's ideas on playing the game. What we're looking at is the fact that players come in and they see, oh, I got to get this champion up to level 60. So they go on the grind, and it is a grind. You got to get through a lot of stuff just to get your champion up to level 50 and rank it up to level 6. You need all these champions to use as food and grind through the campaigns and farm your life away. So everyone does that, and then all of a sudden you have one champion at level 60, and if you even get that far, you're probably bored of the game by now. The champion I chose for this account was Elaine. There's probably not too many players out there that love Raid so much that they're going to start 4 total accounts just to try out each of the starter champions, but I stopped at level 40 due to other areas of the game. I'll try to explain 2 things at once here. At level 43, tournaments are going to be a little bit higher as far as the competition involved. It lists how many points you need for each level of award. And I just wanted to point this out. We've got number 28 here, all the way down to 100. So there's 72 players not even participating in this. That tells me that upgrading this account level is so disadvantageous to placing in the tournaments. No, you're not going to get everything that you need to get farther into the game from the tournaments. It leads me to another example. As far as your multi-battles go, I'd go into like the Fire Knight Castle. I'd hit the multi-battle, hit edit queue, throw in some fusible champions or just champions I was trying to upgrade for food, in 1 or 2 slots back here, and keep 3 real strong champions that I knew were going to beat the Fire Knight. I started realizing how disadvantageous that can become. Not to say that the method of getting your champion up to level 60 isn't a bad thing if that's what you want to do. For example, I'm also grinding just for fusions, and that alone takes a lot of time. You have 12 champions that start off at level 2. You can get these out of the market. You can farm some of these. It takes a really long time just to get them up to level 30 at 3-star rank with fully ascended and available to fuse in to get Arbalester and Stone Skin. And then Huntress and Bloodhorn. You can actually get out all these guys. You can get out of shards, but you can actually get them out of using your gold bars in the bazaar in the tag team arena. I've got those out of the way, just haven't pulled them out yet. I have an extra Bloodhorn, so if I can get an extra Huntress out of a void shard, perfect. That's what I want, and I'll just wait till that day to pull her. Anyway, it put me in a bad situation because all of that experience is going to upgrade your account level here, which at the lower levels, you miss out on a lot of potential awards in between, meaning the tournament. So when I realized at the end of the mission in part 1, you're gonna have to get past bronze 3, which at the time, the way that the arena was working, it was really hard. It might not be so hard right now, but it'll probably change again, and it'll be tough again. Long story short, get that bronze 3 out of the way as quick as you can. Now, another thing that doesn't get talked enough about is how to spend your gems. My first goal, obviously, is I want more gems. So how do you get more gems? Well, you're gonna want to increase your gem mine. So the first one's gonna be 500. That's gonna take the longest to get to. Once you get that 500, at least you got a gem coming in every so often. And the next thing you're gonna do is the second and third level. You'll get 15 every 24 hours. In turn, you also open up the sparring pit, and your first one is a freebie. The rest are gonna cost 300 gems. So as soon as I got the gem mine open, that was the next thing I did was open up the rest of them. Will I upgrade to the second and third levels? I'm not sure yet. We'll come back to that if I decide to do that. But for now, this is how I figured out the easiest way to use your sparring pit is by throwing anybody that you want to fuse or just use for food. For example, go in here and you just pull a champion and see what we get real quick, and we get this douchebag, and we're gonna take him, go in the tavern, go all the way down, pick him, and I mean, so what? I got 129 brews. Oh, it's gonna kill me doing this. 7,000, biggie. Yeah, you do get your daily quest out of the way. Hey, we'll go into the sparring pit, and we'll just swap this chubby looking fellow out, and we'll put that guy in. All right, a couple hours from now, he'll be up to level 10, and we can upgrade him. Didn't cost me any experience to my overall account. Easy. I'm gonna go ahead and switch accounts here too. Okay, so now we're logging into my youngest account, getting ahead of myself as far as my videos go, but we'll collect a banner. I'm not even ready to have a banner, so even following this, you get an amulet and a banner. Let's see, you get an amulet there. So by day 21, you should have a fully ascended champion, I guess is what they're saying here, by giving you a banner. So what that means to your account level is going to be quite different. Now, your account leveling does slow down as you progress higher in level. It takes more experience, obviously, to get your account level up. So here's something funny real quick. Go into a market through here, which isn't technically open yet. All right, so we got a shard to buy. Perfect. All right, now I won't be able to get back into the market until tomorrow, which is fine. My whole goal with talking about this anti-farming is to hopefully make a more enjoyable, replayable experience for new players, so that they can just kind of sit back and chill out a little bit and not worry about getting that champion up to level 60, because there is so much in between that you're gonna miss out on that it's not even funny. So how do we get players to come back and make it a little bit more enjoyable? The first thing I think of is just kind of slow it down. Now, this is a good example using this account as far as your missions go. I've only done 8 of them. Now this is your farming guide to me. You go through here. You're gonna have to win one of each type of life artifact from clearing K-Rock Castle stages on normal. So that means you pretty much have to play at least 6 of those stages and get one type of life artifact. Now you can go to your challenges, artifacts. Okay, now you want to knock these out at the same time. This is technically farming. This is like a farming map. It's going to increase your champions levels, but it'll also give you that experience for your account leveling up. This is full of freebies. You get tomes for your champs, you get shards, and so on and so forth. So you need those. You want to use these in the beginning of the game, no matter how many levels it jumps his account up to. And then we'll look in the arena on this account, and most of these are just super easy. All right, my overall account is 16,000 right now, and if you've been following my videos on how I've been upgrading my champions, definitely check those out. I got a Jizzo video coming up, so I'm not gonna spoil what I've done to him on this video, but you're getting the idea. We'll look in the Fire Knight tournament on this account, being at level 17. All right, so we still only have the 5 spots, so there's no difference between level 17 and level 26. Your rewards are going to be a little less, and this looks the same. But I mean, we have even less players than this by 1, you know, so 94. The Fire Night tournament isn't really the best one to kind of show you on this, so we'll go to the Champion Chase tournament. This is the easiest one to get points out of. And from so we got 44 players not participating, including me. And this is one of the easiest tournaments to get points in because all you're doing is pulling champions. So there's lots of things to do in the game without having to rush through the campaign and start farming that way. Faction Wars for this account, High Elf. Yes, I do have High Elf. Okay, so I got these 3, so I'm not going to get very far in the Faction Wars. So it kind of leads me to another problem. If you don't have if you don't have the ability to farm in Faction Wars, you're not going to get the items you need to utilize in the forge to make better gear. So rushing through it and getting that champion up to level 60, yeah, it's gonna unlock a lot of stuff, but if you don't have anything in the forge, that's not gonna do any good. And one champion at level 60 is not gonna do you any good in the tag team arena, nor the Doom Tower. So in the meantime, why I'm using this account more so than anything else is farming for the Great Hall developments. And it starts you right off with 1% in HP, attack, and defense. So my 3 best champions are going to be Magic and actually I have 1 of each at least. And I think I have 2 actually in the Spirit Affinity. So when you're looking up the Great Hall ideas on where to spend your medals, most of it's going to tell you like maybe accuracy first to make sure you land hits and get the buffs landed. Resist is going to help protect you the most, and critical damage is going to be tied into critical rate, which is going to be tied into accuracy. So those are going to be something that'll help you in the arena. But honestly, I would almost want to max these stats out before anything else, because it's not very much, but you already have the boost. But by the time you get up to tier level 3, it's going to be 3%. So then you're going to look at 5% across the board here. 5% in your defense, attack, and HP. I think that's going to give you the biggest benefit right off the bat. It does take you a long time to farm medals. You get a little bit more medals as you increase the ladder in the tier ladder, that is. So just to sum up, the anti-farming method, it's got its pros and cons. Champions will be stronger, level them up. You can ascend them if you're farming through the keeps. All that's good. However, it takes so long to do that. It almost burnt me out. That could be why players are having a hard time returning to the game, because they get burnt out on the grind. I think that happens to a lot of games like this, and it's a common problem. So you have to really like the game in order to grind that much. So hopefully this helps a little bit. Now the cons, obviously the time away from doing other things like faction building. You're not going to get that much experience, unfortunately, for your champions, unless you have your double XP going on there. You get a little bit more, but it's not a lot. But at least you're farming glyphs, at least you're farming items for the forge, and you're building champions early for the faction wars, which you're going to need. And the main con, the biggest one, is leveling that account up too fast before your champions are ready, and that's going to happen if you're grinding that much to get all the food that you need to upgrade that champion to level 60. So that's going to increase arena competition, which is going to make it harder to farm for your Great Hall perks. Again, unlocking the forge and the Doom Tower and all that's not going to do you a whole lot of good if you just have one level 60 champion and no items for the forge. Also, arena tier accomplishments. Let's see, I covered that. Difficulty in the tournaments. It's going to be easier to get higher rankings in the tournaments if you have a really strong team and a low level. Then you'll be more likely to get those top tier rewards and fusion fragments. And also, using that 30 multi-battle is kind of an issue with your leveling up your account too fast and your champions as well. You should only be upgrading your champions during a tournament at least, or an event. Events, sometimes they're okay. Then also utilize the sparring pit a little bit more. Once your first set of gems, I would use on the mine. You got to get those gems coming back in. You can always buy the masteries all at once for a champion, but if you don't have if you don't have a good stream of gems coming in, then that's kind of pointless. So I'm trying not to get past level 17 without unlocking my mine first, but we'll see how it goes in a different video. Secondly, once you get your bronze 3 mission out of the way, which is all the way down the end, and you've got a lot. I'm sorry I'm going so fast, but it's all the way at the end here. It's going to take a while to get to that. So my biggest suggestion is get this first. It'll show you if you got it, and you'll know you got it because you'll be in bronze 3, and there's no way about not knowing that you have it. So get into your bronze 3 arena mission knocked out first. Go all the way back and start your missions. Use your challenges in accordance with your missions so that you don't have to repeat everything. So you want to knock these out at the same time as you're knocking out the mission here. Okay, I've already done that. Okay, so here. Win one of each type of life artifact from clearing Care Castle. Okay, so do that at the same time you're doing this, so you can knock these out as well. Then you have to go back and redo it. Now you can also go into the campaign, and the best suggestion I can make is pick your 2 best champions and get through those missions. That way you 3-star it all the way down, and you don't have to repeat it that way either. So you're doing 3 things right there. You're knocking out a 3-star, you're getting some gear, sell it, keep it, equip it. You're knocking out your challenges to get your tomes and getting into the next part, which you get higher tomes as you increase. And these will go away. So once you hit part 5 of 5, then they're done. So you want to knock those out as early as possible. The arena, this is kind of quick, but believe me, it's going to be tougher as it goes along. So you're going to want to keep your account level low while you're knocking all that stuff out. Get all that stuff out of the way. That way, when you get through this mission all the way at the end, your account level is minimized, and you're still able to get into higher arena tiers so that you can get more medals. You don't necessarily have to farm all the bronze out of the way here right away. Don't worry, that's gonna take a long time. So I would just get some of these out of the way on the champions that are on your team. So I think I've rambled on enough. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. It was more informational than anything, and definitely leave a comment. It would be really helpful. And drop a like, subscribe. And again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And check out my other videos. Thank you very much.